Hey guys, and welcome back to Kate Boyle Crafts. Today we're going to be showing you how to turn this 10-ounce low ball into a wood grain tumbler. So wood grain is one of the easier things to kind of dip your toes in when doing tumblers. If you're not quite ready to commit to a messy thing such as glitter, then this is a great way to start out. These are great gifts for guys, even ladies like these, whatever, everybody has their thing. So what we're going to be using today is this kind of paintbrush. I personally like the ones with the bristles like this. I honestly don't know what it's called. I usually like the ones it's like a flat wooden handle, but I didn't have any of those on hand, so we're just going to use this guy today. It just came in a paint pack at Walmart, nothing fancy. And we're also going to be using Tim Holtz alcohol ink. I personally really love using the teak wood for my wood grains. I really like the dark look that it gives. So we're going to get started with doing that in just a moment. Stay tuned. Hey guys, so I want to first apologize for this whole hot mess that is happening back here. We're just gonna pretend that's not there, okay? So we have our 10-ounce low ball. So now this has already been prepped, so that means we have sanded it, cleaned it off with alcohol, and then spray painted it. If you guys need that tutorial, that was the very first video that I did in collaboration with DIY Alex. And so we have a whole tumbler series of how to do glitter tumblers, but the very first one is doing the prep, which I personally find to be the most important part of the entire process. So I am going to include a link to that direct video below for you, so that way you guys can check it out. So we're gonna get started. Again, we have the Tim Holtz alcohol ink and this little guy here. So you guys are just going to be so amazed at how super simple this is. So let's get our cap off. Now I sometimes like to start from the bottom and go ahead and get that done. So really all we're going to do, we're going to take a couple drops and we're just going to paint it in a straight line. And we are just going to continue to do that until it looks the way that we want. Now sometimes the edges are a little bit trickier where the alcohol ink can pull a little bit, but for the most part you're able to just kind of use your brush and get those out. Now, a lot of people do their bottoms different ways. So I personally like the look of it just going in one straight direction. Some people prefer to have it kind of go like all in towards the middle. It's just personal preference. I like the look of this a little bit better, so this is just what I choose to do. But if you like it the other way, or if you find a way that works for you, then you go for it. That's the beautiful thing about doing these wood grain tumblers, is that it's inspired by a tree. It's wood. So it doesn't really matter what it's going to look like. As long as you have kind of the same effect going on, then it's going to be perfect. Because in Mother Nature, everything is wonky, nothing is the same. So doing these is really fun, because especially if you're like me and you're a bit of a perfectionist, this kind of helps you to let go of that perfectionist side of you, so that way it can just be like a true tree. It's absolutely so much fun. We actually did a craft night at 651 Vinyl for our employees. This was last holiday season, and I showed everybody how to do a wood grain tumbler, and they all turned out so beautiful. People who've never done it before were able to create a really cool look doing their wood grain, because this is one of the more simple ways to start out. So let me get this last part over here and I'll get a close-up for you guys. Some people even do those little knots and stuff in it. I just am not personally a fan of them, but when we get close, look at that. And look how easy it was. You just drop the ink on and you move your brush that's it. It's amazing. I love doing these. So another thing about alcohol ink is it can be a bit messy. So you're going to want to make sure, I like to wear a long sleeve because I just get it everywhere. Sometimes I'll do downward strokes, sometimes I'll do upward strokes. It just kind of depends where the ink is at the time and what I'm feeling. But this is really it, guys. So we're just gonna keep on doing this all the way around, and then we'll show you the end result. Again, you know, it's meant to look like wood, like a tree. So all kinds of things can go into it. It's okay if you have, you know, these cool little streaks. Like you look at a wood table and you see all kinds of stuff. So that's what I think is really super fun about these, that you don't have to be so perfect. It's amazing. These are, I would do these all day long if I could. So we're gonna just do this, continue it around the entire thing, and then we'll show you what it looks like at the end. Okay guys, so we're just gonna get a good close-up here of what we have. I don't know if you guys can see it so well. Let me turn off this light. There we go. And it's even super shiny on here too, guys. I love it. Like I said, these are one of my absolute favorite ones to do. You can even see, you know, even around the edge is so cool. And that was so simple. Okay guys, so the last part of our wood grain tumbler is we're going to be using a clear sealer. I personally like to use Rust-Oleum, clear gloss, or even clear matte. It's one of my favorites, so I'll include a link below to the to a link. You can just find it at Walmart. That's where I get mine. And I will also include a link to where you can find those 10-ounce low balls, because they went away for a little while, and then I was able to find them again. So one thing I did want to mention is that once you put that clear coat on, it will sometimes give a tinge of green, so you want to make sure you spray very lightly. You might have to do a couple coats if you're going to do it very lightly, and it might turn that little bit of a green, but as that dries, it should come back to its normal color. And then once you apply the epoxy, there have also been some people who have experienced it turning green. I've had it happen to myself, but as it turns and as it cures, you know, everything goes back to being normal, and you still have those really rich brown tones. Some of the alcohol inks can do it a little bit more than others. That's another reason I really like using the teak wood, the darker color. It has a less tendency to turn that kind of green color. But you also want to make sure that you're not going to spray too much whenever you do your clear coat, because that will kind of activate that ink and it'll start to run. I had that happen to me on an order, and that was not very fun. But the good thing is that I was able to just kind of go over it again and then lightly seal it again, and it turned out just fine. So again, one of the more beautiful things about the wood grain tumbler is that, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, and that you're able to kind of go back over any areas that you don't like, and just kind of continue to work with it until it gets there. But I hope that this has been just as fun for you guys as it has been for me. I love doing wood grain tumblers. I could do them all day long. So I hope this has helped, and that I hope that you guys are stepping into using the epoxy and doing the epoxy tumblers. They're so much fun. So if you're not ready to jump into glitter, wood grain is very, very popular, and is always good. Once it gets some epoxy on it, you can put your decals on. Some people like to make them look like whiskey barrels. Those are really cool. You can use them for fishing, hunting, just about everything. Those are really, really cool. So I hope this helps, and please let me know if you guys have any questions. You can always comment them down below. If this has helped you learn how to do your wood grain tumblers, if you weren't quite ready yet, I hope that this has helped ease your mind. Be sure to give me a big thumbs up and subscribe, so that way you can keep up with all of my future videos and check out any past ones, especially the tumbler series that I did with DIY Alex, in case you are still very new to this. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, weekend, whatever it is for you guys right now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.